Hi everyone. Let's talk a little bit about oil pastels. When I stopped teaching high school, I started to do my own personal art, and there were a lot of animals, power animals, mixed media paintings. I loved the earthiness of oil pastels. Now, back then, there were all different kinds of brands. There weren't necessarily, I couldn't find like Sennelier and the most expensive brands. I was able to order Caran d'Ache, and so they were wonderful. So that was, I'd buy whatever color I wanted. I have some here that are called Panda. I don't know that they even make that anymore. I have Sakura. I do have some Pentel because that's what I would have the kids start with. So was going for the color, and my favorite colors were always with Caran d'Ache. Now here's the kind of thing I would do back then. See, it's under glass, okay? This is my pet rabbit, Bunskers. And the way I worked with the color, the blending was a color on top of a color. It would be a layer of white, and then a color over that would make it a lighter tone, and then a little bit of probably dark brown or something, and a color over that would make it a darker tone. But it was always color over color. And what I want to show you today is another way of doing blending with olive oil. Okay, so I will have a baby wipe, and I have some olive oil. Now, I'm really yearning for some flowers here. Our weather has been very cool. A lot of the flowers aren't coming out yet. And so I really love Claude Monet. And he worked with oil pastels. It was very big with Picasso and Monet, and they'd work in their own style in their paintings and things like that. It was back in that era, you know. But I'll tell you, looking at Claude Monet's flowers and how they swirled and moved, and you could see the movement of his hand and his mark making, his strokes, you know, just wonderful. And so here is actually what he was working from. This was his garden. He bought this land and outside of Paris, and he created his own garden, and it was just like magnificent. He had there are landscape plans of everything he planted there, but you can see how the leaves seem to go like that and swirl and swirl around like that. So this is the technique I would like to try. This is the inspiration, let's say that. So this will be kind of off to the side as my inspiration, not copying it, but just being inspired by it, and we'll see what we end up with. So I don't want to use a real good expensive piece of paper at this point. I just want to go with, you know, with the large, really good mark making paper that we have in the sketchbook, and I've taped it off a section. And what I want to try with this is, they say the smoother the better, and this is a pretty smooth grain. It's not too toothy. What I want to try is I want to start with putting in olive oil. Now the smoother the paper, the more the olive oil will sit on the top. And I'm just going to kind of carry it around. So I'm dipping baby wipe in olive oil. And we'll see how this moves the oil pastel around the page. So I have all my favorite colors out. I'm going to go for the garden effect here in the style of Monet. And we'll see what we end up with. So we'll see if that gets things moving. I'd like to start with, I have this wonderful, like a Prussian Prussian, well, it's not even a Prussian blue. They have different names for it in, you know, European style names. Caran d'Arche are Swiss made, so they go by a certain number. The way I would buy them would be by the boxes of 10. So I'd get one color in a box of 10, and that's what I have. I have a whole bunch of little drawers with, you know, filled with specific colors, so I can just go there and help myself to it. So I don't have a big fancy set to show you, but I have all my oil pastels that are my favorite. Now what I want to try is this wonderful kind of blue purplish color. And let's see how this works. You know, whenever we do anything like this, it's an experiment. We're seeing what it does, what we like. Now let's try actually dipping it in olive oil. I like a green that looks like it's a spring green, kind of fresh green. You know, the colors keep changing. And I'm a sky person. It's rare for me to not have a sky, but I'm going to give it a try. That's what he does. He just kind of fills the paper. Now, the more expensive they are, the softer they are, the easier they are to blend. And the easier it would be for me to get it on the tip of a baby wipe. But we're looking for that kind of growy, swirly. I love the earthy feel of it, you know, like when I did all my animals, I would use mixed media. I would use gouache and oil pastel on top and blend with layers of color, and then work into it with colored pencils for like the eyes and details on the fur and things like that. Swirls of white. Now here's where the softer, if I use a Senlier, you'll see the difference. Oh my goodness, there we go. And you don't need much. Blue. You know, he would put color down so that it would be your eye that would be mixing the color, because colors were next to other colors. edge. And that's looking good so far. So this is working in the style of Monet, creating lively, wavy leaves and flowers, and working with olive oil and oil pastels all blended in together. Have fun with this, and keep it all soft and airy and gardeny. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.